Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Richard, and as usual this is going to be our end of month roundup. What's been happening during August in the world of used electric vehicles. Plus we'll do a bit of recap about our solar usage and money savings there. Seems to be quite a popular topic, so I'll happily go through how production's been during the August, which has not been the best weather. As I film this, so before I get into market health and how the prices of used electric cars and demand, I'm filming this on the 1st of September, and news broke this morning of the new Tesla Model 3, so that has actually now been officially released and announced, along with quite a significant array of updates and changes to that car. So we might film a bit of a separate video about that. We might have already done that and been out, but unfortunately I'm here on the south coast and not in Oslo where the launch was, so I haven't been able to look at one personally. But there are a lot more new details about the new Model 3. However, it will not be here until 2024. So there is a new one on the way, but it's not going to be here for a while. So let's talk a bit in a minute about possible residual values of the current Model 3. So I'll come on to that in a moment. One other thing I want to cover before getting to market health actually is just about electricity prices. So the electric prices for domestic has come down now. The cap, the maximum you can pay if you're on a standard electric domestic tariff, has come down from about 34 pence per kilowatt hour down to about just over 27 pence per kilowatt hour. So quite a nice little saving for charging your electric car at home. I have also seen quite a big change in our rates for business, which have always been uncapped. So this year, so far, we've been paying 89 pence per kilowatt hour, but in August it came down. We're now paying about 38 pence per kilowatt hour. So again, much cheaper when you do have to plug in and charge up your car if you haven't got the solar available. We obviously have our solar, come on to that in a minute, but really good to see electricity prices falling, and that helps with running costs of electric cars. What would that do to demand? Come on to that in a second. Also during August, we've now had the implementation of the London expanded ULEZ zone. So some people with older cars in London are finding that they need to find solutions like newer vehicles or of course electric vehicles to save themselves paying a fee every single day. So that has impacted again on demand and market. So let's get stuck into how that looks. So I'll bring up a couple of slides as I talk, which is based on the Auto Trader data. Auto Trader being really the biggest marketplace for vehicles in the UK. And so we look at the data there quite carefully, as well as sort of we have our own thoughts on our own data. We've had a busy month of August. If I just summarise our experience, we've been busy. In fact, we nearly ran out of stock at one point. We've been gradually busy getting them back in again over the course of the last week. And in fact, we've been filming some of our just general stuff that happens here in the last week. So there'll be a video, kind of a pilot episode of more of a documentary of what happens here coming up soon. Stay subscribed if you want to see that. Right, let's get on to demand for electric vehicles. Again, I still see the newspaper saying demand's fallen, nobody wants them, prices are crashing, all that kind of stuff. Well, look, demand, this is a sheet here which I'll bring up. This is just demand. The number of people looking for EVs during the last 4 weeks, August, compared to August last year. And August last year was busy, but it's up 67%. So demand looking for any EV over the last 4 weeks during August is 67% up on last year. So nobody can say there's not enough demand for them. The prices have fallen, but that was because of supply and stock. So we're still 130% up on stock last year. Not us personally, used electric vehicles in stock amongst dealerships and private sales. And that's why prices have fallen, but they've been generally very steady again recently, I would say. It means that market health compared to last year pulls out, which is a combination of those two factors, comes out to a minus 27%. But that's not the headline. The headline is demand is up significantly, 67. Now I want to drill down a little bit to Tesla only because that makes up a lot of what we sell here. And demand for Teslas is 45% up compared to August last year. Supply plus 70%, which means an overall market health of minus 14%. If I drill down another step, I mean the most popular, most commonplace Tesla on the used market really now tends to be the Model 3. Demand for the Tesla Model 3 is 96% up compared to August of last year. It was popular then, even more popular now. Lots of people looking for them. Still plenty in supply, so still plus 82% on supply for Model 3, but market health 8% up. There's also a couple of other manufacturers when it comes to EVs where market health, so remember the combination of demand versus supply, stands out from the crowd. So market health for Audi electric cars plus 39%, Jaguar plus 32%. Remember the Jaguar and the I-Pace was up last month as well. And then Renault and Seat, well, their electric cars also up 38 and 18%. The Porsche down a bit, Polestar down a bit, and some of the others are market health-wise are down. Let's say, again, difference between that and demand. So it's definitely, demand is there, and we've been pretty flat out during August. So slightly busier than last year in terms of number of sales, but yeah, all good and really busy. Prices, forecasts, what we're going to say here. So with this new Model 3, typically that would mean more of the current models come onto the market and prices could fall again. And a lot of Tesla owners are a bit like iPhone buyers. A new model comes out, you want to get the new model, new version. Well, that could be said. So the current prices potentially come down a little bit, but I think demand is so strong for them at the moment, I don't really see them dropping too much. Plus, you've got to consider, actually, there's no new version of Model 3 until 2024. Australia, New Zealand get them in January, so that's probably when right-hand drive production starts shipping. We might not even get them until February, March, April. It's not been confirmed yet. So if there's now not really a supply of new Model 3s over the coming few months, then that will hold the values of the used Model 3s higher, because if you can't buy a new one, you're going to go to get a used one. Tesla themselves have had some pretty good finance offers and discounts and inventory stock recently, and they've, I think, gradually fallen away and reducing now. So we could, I think, see just a good steady pricing for the Model 3. I don't think we're going to suddenly see them all lose value because of a new one. It's just not available yet, so I don't think it's going to happen quite yet. Of course, over the coming few months, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people starting to sell their Model 3 in readiness to go and buy a new one when the shipping dates are confirmed and they can order them. I think we've already had some calls and emails this morning with what's my Model 3 worth, so there's a few of those happening now as well. Righto, so market health, generally actually very good. We've been busy and demand is significantly up for electric vehicles. Good news, isn't it? And electricity prices are down. That's good news. Charging costs, even public charging is also coming down. The Tesla superchargers are lower, and I want to see more of the other charging networks reducing their prices. I think that's starting to happen now. Shall we move on to our solar production now? Right. As always, let me just start my screen recording on my phone, and let's show you how our solar is doing. So here we are right now, but let's just go to impact. Now I've updated this app to show the new electricity prices, which basically came into effect actually from the beginning of August. Now I didn't get to know that until actually a few days ago. But you can put into the Tesla app the new prices. So the amount saved in August is £1,016, which you can see is a lot less than July. There's two reasons for that. One is electricity is cheaper, so anything I've had to buy is now cheaper, and the solar we have has less of an impact on saving because it's not as expensive. So August wasn't a brilliant month for weather. We were still 93% off the grid there, and still saved over £1,000 even with the new cheap rate. So that's good. Let's just bring this up to a year summary now. So our average time off grid is 77% self-powered for the year so far. Over £14,000 in savings since January. So remember the solar system in effect owes me £39,000. Again, I don't look at it like that because it added to the value of the building, but you can see now we're not going to get better production levels going forward as the days are already getting much shorter. Our strongest month was May, sunniest month, so that looks to be the best there in terms of savings at least. So what I would do is come out of this, look at the actual production numbers for the month, and let me scroll across to August and scroll left. Come on, there we go. There's August. So in August we produced just under 2,000 kilowatt hours of energy. We still exported 862 kilowatt hours there alone. So let me then bring this up for the year, and we look at grid usage, and you can see here how we've been importing from the grid January, February, March, then mostly exporting, and we'd expect the graph to go back up the other way now quite naturally. So 19.8 megawatt hours used this year so far. It's a good app, isn't it? They've actually modified this app a little bit. It's changed, and some of the graphics are different now and interactions, so I'm still learning it. But it's good. So we produced over 20 megawatt hours of electricity this year from our solar. I think that's pretty good. And again, you can see here actually a solar generation here looks to be slightly better in June than May. So anyway, still loving the solar. I think it's fantastic. And even if it never paid back, I think it's brilliant. It's nice to know the cars are powered from the sun and just a fantastic thing to have. So once again, I just urge businesses, especially where you've got these big flat roofs, we could easily get loads more panels on our houses, on our roofs and stuff like that. Right, that's it for August. I'm going to go and find out a little bit more about this new Tesla Model 3. Quite a lot of nice little changes, updates, more efficient, probably the same drivetrain, but more efficiency gains, modifications to the interior. All looks very nice. So I'll see you on the next video. Stay subscribed. We've got a really cool little documentary we filmed a week sort of in the life here, so that's coming up soon as well. So make sure you subscribe with the bell icon. You'll see that video when it comes out.